Welcome to the Explainer. Look, if you're a focused learner trying to really level up your professional game, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're unpacking a notoriously difficult but absolutely essential professional shift, going from being a top-tier individual performer to becoming a true impactful leader. It's a fundamental change in your identity, and we're going to map it all out right now. Okay, let's just dive right into this. I've got a tough question for you, and I need you to be completely honest. Are you your team's biggest bottleneck? It's a tough pill to swallow, right? But is your incredibly high competence actually stalling your team's progress? When you are the absolute best at what you do, it's so easy to accidentally become the dam that stops all the water from flowing. Let's run through the warning signs real quick. If you find yourself constantly saying, I'll just do it myself, or if you're chronically overloaded while your team just kind of sits around waiting for your decisions, you're stuck in the doer trap. If nobody around you is growing and you have this nagging, stressful feeling that work simply won't happen if you aren't in the room, yeah, that means you're operating as a doer, not a leader. And honestly, it's a fast track straight to severe burnout. But hey, take a deep breath. We've got a clear roadmap to guide you out of this trap. Over the next few minutes, we're going to cover the doer's trap, shifting from hero to coach, the 5 critical mindset shifts, owning the white space, and finally, rethinking true productivity. Let's go. All right, section 1, the doer's trap. This is where your own success actually becomes a trap. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole problem. The great irony here is that doing it yourself seems so logical, right? It takes you 30 minutes today. Teaching someone else, that might take 2 hours of your day. But, and here is the massive catch, that 2-hour investment today saves you 30 minutes every single week, literally forever. So doing it yourself isn't actually faster. Mathematically speaking, it's a failure of leadership. It stunts your team's growth, creates a massive bottleneck, and keeps you permanently stuck in the weeds. Moving on to section 2, from hero to coach. This is all about enabling value creation. This right here is the absolute core philosophy of our explainer today. You have got to stop proving your value just through your own individual output. You know, a doer says things like, I do tasks, I solve problems, I'm the expert. But a true leader, they say, I build people, I enable others to solve problems, I create more experts. As a doer, your success is just your work. But as a leader, your success is judged entirely by the results you achieve through your team. Section 3, the 5 critical mindset shifts. How we actually go from being the hero to being the guide. So how do we actually pull this off? Well, shift number 1 is going from me to we. You're moving your focus away from my targets, my tasks, and shifting it entirely to team goals, team success. This is a fundamental change in your identity. You're no longer the solo A+ student trying to ace your own report card. You're the teacher whose job is to raise the whole class average. Now, what's really interesting here is shift number 2, moving from doing to delegating. Notice the internal monologue change. Instead of thinking, I'll just do this, it's way faster, you have to stop and ask, wait, who should actually own this? Delegation isn't about dumping your work on someone else. It literally multiplies your team's overall output. Because without it, you stay permanently stuck at the absolute limit of your own personal bandwidth. Shift number 3 takes you from being a problem solver to a problem coach. Look, when you swoop in and fix everything yourself, you're actually building a toxic dependency on, well, you. The team learns to stop thinking and just starts handing you the broken pieces. But when you shift to being a problem coach, you're guiding them to think critically and solve the issues themselves. That builds immense long-term capability within your team. Shift number 4 is moving from a task focus to a strategic focus. As a doer, your head is down, right? You're hyper-focused on daily work and immediate deadlines. But as a leader, you've got to lift your head up. You need this expansive, forward-thinking mindset. You should constantly be asking the big-picture questions. What actually matters most right now? Where are we going next? And finally, shift number 5, going from control to trust. Honestly, if you're checking everyone's work and micromanaging every tiny detail, you are suffocating them. Modern leadership is all about empowering people. You give them the context, the why, and the what, and then actually trust them to figure out the how. You give them real ownership. All right, section 4, owning the white space. You actually have to make the time to lead. To actually pull off those 5 mindset shifts, you need a completely, totally different relationship with your calendar. Think about it. The doer schedule is intensely packed, like 95% tasks, just furiously checking boxes all day, with maybe a tiny sliver of time left for strategy. But a leader schedule, ideally that's 40% tasks and 60% strategy and coaching. You absolutely must aggressively protect this white space in your calendar. If you don't have empty blocks of time to just sit and calmly think about the why and the where next, you aren't leading, you're just reacting. And a lot of what happens in that white space is what we like to call invisible work. We're talking about influencing people, managing stakeholders, removing blockers, and building culture. Now, to a former doer, grabbing a coffee to align with a difficult stakeholder might feel like you're slacking off just because you aren't producing a tangible widget. But make absolutely no mistake, this invisible work is incredibly crucial. It is exactly what clears the path so your team can actually run. Section 5, Rethinking True Productivity. Time for some new success metrics. So the crucial point is this. If we're completely rewiring our mindset and our schedules, we have to throw the old metrics right out the window entirely. The old metric was, how many tickets did I close today? The new metric, how much closer is my team to our quarterly outcome? Your success is no longer about checking off your own tasks. It's about asking yourself, did I remove a roadblock for someone else today so they could thrive? Let's ground this in a real-life example from our sources, a software testing team. The doer manager is frantic, right? Writing test cases themselves, fixing bugs themselves, reviewing every single tiny detail. And the result? Total team dependency, super slow growth, and massive burnout for the manager. But then you look at the leader manager. They step back, they calmly assign ownership of those test cases to the engineers, they coach them on the testing strategy, and they just track the overall quality outcomes. The result there? Delivery actually improves, the team gets way stronger, and the manager finally has time to tackle high-level strategy. I want you to let this really sink in for a second. When you become a leader, you stop being the hero and start creating heroes. Your job is no longer to swoop in, cape flowing, and save the day all by yourself. Nope. Your job is to meticulously build an environment where others can perform at their absolute best. Which brings us to our final parting question for you today. Are you playing a solo game, or are you building a championship team? Look, a solo player might win a few matches purely on their own brilliance, but it takes a dedicated coach to build a dynasty. Step out of the doer's trap, embrace the white space, and start multiplying the potential of everyone around you. Thanks for diving into this with us today on The Explainer.